The 2017 Rinspeed Oasis. Anytime a car, no matter who it's from, is described as a trendy buddy to Star Wars icon R2-D2, you know that it's going to be well past the conventional line. And so it is with Rinspeed's Oasis self-driving concept, a prototype vehicle that isn't so much a traditional car, but more like a mobile living room. The Oasis will make its debut at the 2017 Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas in January. But, as early as now, Rinspeed is giving us a good, long look at its interpretation of what future mobility could look like. While it does follow the traditional template of what a car is supposed to look like in the sense that it has 4 wheels, it's far from the kind of car that populates the roads of the world today. For one, it has an unorthodox look that does away with the traditional body panels in favor of glazed panels throughout the body. It also has several quirky features that sound good when you look or read about it. A small green space for growing flowers? Yep, the Oasis has one just below the windscreen. The car is obviously a concept in every sense of the word. It's unlikely to be seen on public roads anytime soon, and even down the road, there's no rationale that can objectively make a case for it to be built for mass production. But, as far as being an unconventional concept is concerned, the Oasis fits that slot to a T, right down to the body-hugging armchairs in the cabin. Continue reading to learn more about the Rinspeed Oasis. Exterior: the swooping front section and the flat rear is a common design trait of modern-day hatchbacks, and there's a school of thought that promotes unconventional ideas as a proper exercise of creativity. On that note, I'd say Rinspeed worked up a serious sweat in giving life to the Oasis. To say that it's unique is an understatement. Sure, the swooping front section and the flat rear is a common design trait of modern-day hatchbacks, but Rinspeed went beyond those qualities by giving the Oasis some unique design traits. The hoodless front section is defined by a wrap-around bumper that also doubles as the fenders and the wheel skirts that completely cover the front wheels. The same design was applied to the rear bumper, with the only noticeable difference being that the rear wheels aren't completely covered. Apart from these, the body is predominantly made from glass, broken only by what appears to be some kind of energy-storing panel on the roof, solar, perhaps. Rinspeed says that the Oasis is a car that can serve a variety of functions. Company chief Frank M. Rinderknecht even says that it can be a shopping cart in the morning, a shipping services counter for a parcel service in the afternoon, and a pizza delivery vehicle at night. Considering the many doors the auto industry is opening these days with the advent of new technologies, it's hard to argue against those functions for the Oasis, especially if you're talking about a car that counts turning on its own axis as one of its core features. It may not be the sexiest ride on 4 wheels we've ever seen, but its versatility is definitely something that's worth putting its name in the news. Interior: when I first made this review for the Rinspeed Oasis back in October 2016, I mentioned that the concept's unquestioned bright spot was its interior. Now that Rinspeed has bared more details about the concept, it's comforting to know that nothing much has changed in that regard. The interior really is something else. Let's start with arguably the most ridiculous feature any automaker, established or otherwise, has put inside the interior of a concept. I've seen humidors inside concepts. I've seen web lighting inside concepts. But a garden? An actual garden inside a car that can grow vegetables or bonsai trees? I know that Rinspeed's probably going looking for over-the-top reactions to this garden, and for what it's worth, that's exactly what it got from me. Beyond that, the cabin of the Oasis is still packed with plenty of absurd features, which in itself is surprising considering the lack of significant space it has. For one, I don't know how many times I've imagined the interior of a car being turned into an actual living room or workspace, but that's exactly how Rinspeed presented the Oasis. Look at those armchairs first. I'm not good at visual renderings, but those look to be 2 of most comfortable armchairs in the history of renderings. Turns out, they're made by GF Automotive, renowned for making lightweight car components. There's also a sideboard and a TV, which really takes the whole living room-inspired styling to a literal level. There's even a tray table because future cars apparently need tray tables too. Fortunately, the Oasis also features traditional car components like the multi-function steering wheel that can actually be folded flat and get turned into a keyboard or work surface. Okay, so it's not really a traditional steering wheel, but it's still a steering wheel regardless. It just gives a different meaning to its multifunctional description. Take for example situations wherein the wheel is folded. According to Rinspeed, the Oasis turns into a self-driving office on wheels, complete with office productivity software and Skype video telephony with live translation. It goes on about how occupants can even share news on social media and use the car's windshield, yes, the windshield, as a massive screen that can accommodate virtual and augmented realities. Oh, and there's also a code-protected drawer in the rear that can be cooled or heated as needed. In other words, it's a fridge. It's a car with a fridge in the back. I'd sign up for that. On the tech side, Rinspeed also developed the idea of the Oasis having its own mind with Harman Liv's technologies, life-enhancing intelligent vehicle solutions that allows occupants to actually sue the car as a social media assistant of sorts. The Harman system is complemented by a curved 5K widescreen display with voice or gesture control. Occupants only need to instruct the system to perform various functions like reserving a seat in a restaurant, and the system makes the reservations itself. Drivetrain. The car is touted as a self-driving EV concept, so I guess it's going to be powered by electricity. Oddly enough, Rinspeed made no mention of the car's powertrain, which likely points to the reveal happening at the CES show in January 2017. That roof though is a peculiar feature because of its physical characteristics that remind me of solar panels. Maybe there's a two-pronged approach to powering this car that Rinspeed has yet to mention. Stick around then for the full details when it hits the Vegas in 2017. Conclusion. I'm fully aware that when it comes to concepts as far-reaching as the Rinspeed Oasis, the common practice is to take them with handfuls of salt. On both hands. I will do that, although I also have to admit that I got intrigued about what Rinspeed is selling here. A compact, self-driving EV that comes with a well-appointed interior may be the dream car that I didn't know would be possible until now. Love it. Interior looks really inviting. Garden under the windscreen? Okay. Actually looks decent. Leave it. It's a concept. Power and range are question marks, unlikely to hit production.
If you liked this video, please share your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.